Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Administrative Charging Committee's first meeting. So let's begin. My name is Cindy Allen. I work as a Senior Human Resource Analyst, and I'm a liaison to the Administrative Charging Committee on things that are administrative for them to perform their functions. I'd like to have a motion, please, to adopt the agenda. Do all
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Deacon. Thank you, Mr. Perrin. So we'll adopt the agenda. The first item on the agenda, ladies and gentlemen, is the introduction of the ACC members, starting with Mr. Deacon. Could you please introduce yourself, sir?
My name is Scott Deacon.
My name is Norman Dorn.
I'm Alexa Billups.
And my name is Wilson Perrin.
We stand by for a second. We're having a technical difficulty with the PowerPoint. Moving the PowerPoint on. Next slide, please. Thank you.
Let me see if you have to be over here.
Yeah. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen.
Try it now.
There we go. Thank you. All right. I'm sorry. As you introduce yourselves, can we go back again? We'll each, we're having further technical, yeah. Stand by a second. My apologies. I loaded the wrong PowerPoint.
Wilson, we need to pull up the other PowerPoint. You want to recess for 5, or you just want to wait a few minutes?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having technical difficulties. If I could have a motion to recess the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Vaughn?
We're gonna need 5 minutes.
Yes, we'll recess this meeting for 5 minutes and reconvene. Thank you.
Thank you for your willingness to serve. So is it, when you look at your schedule, is it better for you to have meetings during the day?
We switched it up. All right, good evening again. Welcome back to the reconvening of the ACC's first, ACC, the Administrative Charging Committee's first meeting. We were on introductions, and my apologies for the for the snafu we had with the PowerPoint. Would the committee members mind reintroducing themselves, let the public know what you do or what you did for a living, and what's your favorite part of Calvert County? Starting with you, Mr. Deacon.
My name is Scott Deacon. I am a part of the Police Accountability Board. I am serving a 3-year term on the Administrative Charging Committee. My background is I was in the United States military, United States Air Force. I served 29 years or so as a special agent with the Air Force Office of Special Investigations. Came to the county in 2000, departed for 2 years and then came back again. And we've stayed ever since. My kids grew up here and finished high school here, and as the saying is, the land of pleasant living.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Dorn?
My name is Norman Dorn. I am a physicist by training, and I have been in and around Calvert County, most principally in Prince George's County in the past, recently transplanted to Calvert County. I have my family local, and I enjoy the shore.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Phillips?
My name is Alexa Billups. I am retired Air Force officer, retired as a mental health clinician. Currently, I'm at home, being a stay-at-home mom. And what we love about Calvert County are the schools and the country setting.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Perrin?
Wilson Perrin, born and raised in Calvert County, served in the Air Force for 4 years, and I'm chair of the Police Accountability Board and also a member of the Administrative Charging Board. Now retired. My career has been in technology. It looks like it's been in government, but it's actually in technology. I've worked in government at the state and local level. And the thing I like about Calvert County is that born and raised, and I worked outside of this area for all of my career, and I commuted and loved coming home to this wonderful place.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Stump, welcome.
Good evening, my name is Stacy Stump. I'm a retired naval officer, served for 32 years, pediatric nurse practitioner. I'm still practicing 4 days a week. We've lived in Calvert County off and on for about 19 years. My husband's retired as well, but he did a bunch of ships, and I stayed in the local area to raise my children. I love Calvert County for the outdoors. We love the beaches of Maryland, so I'm excited to be here.
Thank you, ma'am. So next on the agenda is the introduction of the staff members. As I said previously, my name is Cindy Allen. I'm a senior human resource analyst, and I assist the PAB and the ACC. Ms. Drew?
I'm Liz Drew. I am the administrative aide and clerk to the PAB and the ACC.
The board members on the screen now, you'll see your terms. Ms. Phillips, all of the board members are in fact are going to serve 3 years terms as ACC members. At this point in time, I'm going to go over some of the general duties of the ACC. The ACC members, there's 5 of you. It's established by state law. The chair of the PAB and or his or her designee is also an ACC member. The Board of County Commissioners, to help comprise the ACC committee, the ACC appointed 2 citizens, and then the PAB appointed 2 citizens as well. And then again, the ACC will elect a chair from amongst the members annually. The chair of the Administrative Charging Committee shall serve no more than 2 consecutive terms as the chairperson. So your duties and responsibilities as an ACC charging committee member is you're going to review the findings of law enforcement investigations as citizens' complaints come into the local law enforcement entities in Calvert County, the state police, the Calvert County Sheriff's Office, Natural Resources Police, State Fire Marshal's Office, as the complaints come into the PAB or come into the local police departments. The police departments are charged with doing the investigation, and then you as ACC committee members will review the law enforcement agencies' investigations. You'll review all of the relevant information that has come in with the complaint in the investigation, including body-worn camera video, any documents or other evidence that has come in during their investigation. And then you also can have witnesses, information from the witnesses. You'll be reviewing that as well. So your duties is to determine whether or not to administratively, after reviewing the investigation, to administratively charge the police officer who was the subject of the investigation, respondent of the investigation. If the police officer is in fact charged, the ACC will recommend discipline in accordance with the officer's agency's disciplinary matrix. You'll issue a written opinion that describes your findings in detail, your determinations and the recommendations, and then you forward your written opinion to the chief law enforcement agency, the police officer, and back to the complainant. At this point in time, I'd like to have a motion to elect, one of the duties and responsibilities is that you have to elect your chair. So I'd like a motion to consider electing your chairperson.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Dorn. I'm sorry, who second? Okay, thank you, Mr. Deacon. All in favor?
I'm sorry, what was the motion for?
To start the discussion on electing the chairperson.
Okay. That's just part of the agenda. We just move on through the agenda. That was not a motion to elect a chair, correct?
My understanding is they were going to elect a chair tonight, sir.
Yes, but that was not a proper motion to elect a chair. Is there someone who would like to nominate themselves or someone else for the position of chair?
I would volunteer for the role as chairperson.
And are there other candidates that would like to be a candidate for chair?
I'd volunteer for chairperson.
Anyone else?
Is it proper to move that the nominations be closed?
It is.
Okay.
So with the nominations closed, there are two who have expressed their interest. I didn't catch the names of who sitting at my elbow.
Mr. Deacon and Mr. Dorn.
Okay. Would you like to proceed with a vote? For Mr. Deacon, all those in favor, please raise your hand. And those in favor of Mr. Dorn? So by show of hands, Mr. Deacon, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this point in time, we're going to, now that we have a chairperson, we're going to turn the rest of the agenda over to the new chairperson, Mr. Deacon.
Thank you. I believe that we have a training presentation
Yes, sir.
on, thank you.
You may want to accept
We'll do the
nominations for the vice chair
Vice Chair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
before proceeding to the next agenda item. We're still at the selection of the vice chair for a one-year term. Yes.
Does the, yeah, if the PAB would like to have a vice chair.
Yes, at this time, I would like to entertain volunteers to be the vice chair.
I'll volunteer for that.
Mr. Perrin has volunteered. Are there any others that would like to volunteer? Mr. Dorn has so indicated. I'm used to having discussion. We don't have any discussions, just,
You may have discussion.
can I shortly ask Mr. Perrin and Mr. Dorn, and Mr. Perrin first, if, why you would like to be the vice chair, please?
Well, I think as we look at the work of the ACC, one, you do need, the regulation doesn't require that you have a vice chair, but I think because of consistency, if someone's out, you should have at least someone who can step in and support the chair when the chair is not there. I feel that, I also serve as chair of the PAB and a member of this board, and it creates some consistency. And I volunteer to be vice chair to support this committee.
Thank you. Mr. Dorn?
I have some concerns about the concentration of authority, but I have no problem with Wilson standing in that role.
Thank you, sir.
Does that mean you withdraw your nomination?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay. Yes, you'd like to ask a question?
Yes.
Please do. For
Yeah.
both?
No, for,
I think you should have asked,
Yes.
I think you need to ask for both, though.
Oh, for both?
Yes, please.
Okay, for both,
That makes it fair.
okay, for both. What are your concerns with what are your concerns?
The specific is that Mr. Perrin, and I think he'll agree, has a number of positions that he's responsible to fill. And I was concerned that that might be more responsibility falling in that direction than was necessary.
And between the two committees, you mean, or?
Yes.
Well,
Between the PAB itself and the designated role on the ACC.
I think as a member or as a officer, it's not really that much difference between the two. Of serving on a particular committee.
Okay. Point well taken.
Thank you. At this time, we'll cease discussions and call for a vote. Again, from the order of nominations, all those in favor of Wilson Perrin accepting the position of vice chairman, raise your hand. Mr. Dorn, please. Mr. Perrin, congratulations, thank you.
Thank you.
Now on to the next agenda item. We have a training presentation, actually two. One on the Maryland Police and Corrections Training Commission. And if we would start with that, thank you, Ms. Drew. I'd appreciate that.
You're welcome, Mr. Deacon. So we have a mandatory training that the Administrative Charging Committee is required to take from the Maryland Police Training and Standards Commission. Calvert County Police Accountability Board will be hosting that training. We will be hosting the training at the College of Southern Maryland in Prince Frederick. The training's going to be October 17th through the 21st. The time is 8 to 5. There will be an hour in the middle of the training, and lunch will be provided for our members. We have invited also Charles and St. Mary's County Administrative Charging Committee, so they will be training with our county members. We've included in section 4 of your binder, there is the Maryland Police and Training Commission syllabus for the training. So it gives you the topics that they're going to discuss during the training and go over. So if you want to take a look at that. There's also, we've included among a variety of other materials in the binder, the state disciplinary matrix, which is a good piece of information to look over prior to the training. Does anybody have any questions in regards to that training? Or believe they might? Oh, yes, Mr. Deacon, do you mind advancing the slides too?
Beg your pardon. You already hit that?
So there's the training syllabus. As you know, it's a mandatory training, and it is 5 consecutive days. So every day has to be completed. Do any members of the committee have any questions in regards to that training or see that being a problem for anyone to attend that week?
Just give me a moment to look in my book so I can, kind of small print for me back here.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
That would
So
be
this-
section 4A, Mr. Deacon. And it just it has the letter from the Maryland Police Trainings Standard Commission requiring that training for county ACC members, and also the syllabus is included.
It's my understanding that this is the first session within the state for ACC training.
That's correct.
So we were fortunate enough to get
Yes.
in line early and so that we can conduct the training. Now, the training is required before we can meet as a committee to conduct actual business.
That's correct.
And my understanding is you have to take all 4 days. You can't,
5 days.
5 days, I mean.
All 5 days in a row, yes.
Right. Okay.
Does anybody have any questions after review of the blocks of instruction? Hearing none?
So last week I sent out an email requesting everyone complete the Maryland Open Meetings Act training. That's an online training. It takes about an hour. And it will just go over the fact that you're serving on a committee that is a public body. And it goes into those different rules and regulations. And if you could complete that training and then email me your certificate, that would be great when you have the opportunity to do that. Does anyone have any questions in regards to that training? Or did everyone receive that email last week with the link?
Just to let everybody know, I've had the training, and I think staff has also had the training.
Did you receive it from
I did, Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman.
online.
I received yours.
Okay, that's,
Yes.
I wanted to make sure that that was in fact the automatic mechanism,
Yes.
and so that was what I was looking for.
It's about 45 minutes.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Future meeting schedule?
It's open for
Whoops.
discussion, sir.
Is everybody okay with the second Wednesday of the month?
Yes.
What time is preferable to you all?
This time works for me.
I don't know that we have a firm schedule on the PAB meetings because we are still attached to the PAB. So to be at least an hour earlier than any one scheduled PAB meeting, I think would be a good thing.
A couple things to consider with these meetings. This one is recorded, and of course is public. The other ones going forward, because of the nature of what we'll be dealing with, will not be. So we keep that in mind. One of the things that the staff have talked about is perhaps having, because there are 5 of us, having those meetings in the Board of County Commissioners hearing room in the courthouse. So if we did that, if we can start the meetings before, I guess, 4 o'clock? Is it 4 that we still can get in the building?
Yes, it would be before 4 o'clock,
Okay.
ideally.
Ideally.
But it
They're
does
early.
provide a sense of security and because of the things we'll be doing and looking at. So keep that in mind as we look at the timing of it.
And back-to-back ACC and PAB meetings this is an anomaly tonight. If you're not gonna have an ACC meeting followed by a PAB, your meetings are gonna be separate and apart from the PAB meetings.
So we still haven't then scheduled, but we're looking at the idea of using the Commissioners' Boardroom.
Yeah.
I like that idea. So moved. assuming that's available.
Do we have to have a motion on that, or are we good at just administratively approving that?
That's an administrative function item, but I'm not sure I understood that was to be the second Wednesday of each month at 4 p.m.
4 p.m. in the courthouse,
Circuit Courthouse, 175.
Commissioners hearing room.
Commissioner's hearing room. And we can add to the notes if we have the room number, would be helpful.
It's courtroom 5.
Courtroom 5, thank you. Public comment.
Mr. Norris, do you
Is
want
there anybody here for public comment? And is there anybody on the phone call that might have called in or logged in through Zoom for public comment?
Mr. Chair, can you read the preamble and the public comment on your agenda, sir?
Starting with the ACC?
Down it says under item 3, public comment.
Right, do you want the whole thing?
Yes, please.
While all views and perspectives are welcome during public comment, be aware that speakers are personally responsible for their own expressions and comments. It is recommended that speakers refrain from commenting on unsettled claims or complaints and refrain from using names wherever possible. The Administrative Charging Committee will accommodate public comment in person or by telephone. Individuals who participate virtually should call or log in advance. Participants may call toll-free 888-475-4499 or 877-853-5257. A meeting ID 862-4036-9411. And if asked for a passcode, please enter 194530. Speakers, whether in person or participating virtually, will be limited to 2 minutes as individuals, or 5 minutes if the designated representative is of a particular organization.
So there's no one on the phone call that, for public comment. Is there anybody in the room? Seeing none.
Hearing none, at this time we will close the public comment. And if there are any comments from the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move that we adjourn.
Second? Anyone? Second? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We are adjourned at 6 o'clock.
So are the ACC sitting here?
We're still live until the red light goes out.